Yes, last class we were discussing Borel sigma algebra on 0 1, and we were building up towards defining the Lebesgue measure or the uniform measure on 0 1, right. So, the Lebesgue measure tries to formalize the notion of length, right. That is really all it is intuitively, but it is a legitimate measure, right. So, we took this collection f naught of subsets of 0 1, which includes the empty sets and sets of this form, right. So, by which I mean, so this A 1, so A 1 open closed B 1 and this finite union of such sets where these guys are all disjoint, right. We said that f naught we could easily prove that f naught is an algebra. We could also prove that f naught is not a sigma algebra, and we finally said that the smallest sigma algebra containing f naught is in fact the Borel sigma algebra, right. So, these three facts are very important. Okay. So, we will use it very soon. So, what do we really want, right. So, on sets of this form I want the measure of, let us say, let me call this set, let us say f, okay. Let us say I have an f of set f of this kind. I want ideally I want a probability measure which assigns probability of the set f is equal to what I want it to be b I minus sum over b I minus a I equal to 1 through n, right. I have to define a probability measure such that this is satisfied. This is what I really want, right. I want the measure of intervals to be b I minus a I, right. Now, the problem is this P has to be defined on a sigma algebra, right. I only have an algebra, right, and on this algebra f naught I know what I want on this algebra, right, but on the sigma algebra I do not know what it is, right, because the sigma algebra will contain more complicated sets. The sigma algebra after all is the Borel sigma algebra, right, and it has some complicated sets, they are not necessarily nice sets of this form. So, I do not know what the measure on the sigma algebra is, but I know what I want on the algebra f naught, right. So, that is the key step now. So, the key step is in going from the algebra sets of this form to the Borel sigma algebra, right. So, this is accomplished by a very well known theorem in measure theory called Carathéodory's extension theorem, right, which I will state without proof. We will just utilize the result rather than worry about its proof. Okay. Let f naught be an algebra on omega and let f is equal to sigma of f naught. Suppose P naught is a mapping from f naught to 0 1 such that P naught of omega equal to 1 and P naught is countably additive on f naught. Then P naught can be uniquely extended to a probability measure P on omega f, that is there exists a unique probability measure P on omega f such that P of A is equal to P naught of A for all A in f naught. Okay. This is the famous Carothiodory's extension theorem. So, our aim will not be to prove this, and our aim is to simply comprehend what it is saying and apply it. Okay. So, the proof is the proof is a constructive proof which can be found in David Williams' book for those who are interested, but it is not something that we will bother with. Okay. So, let us try to understand what this theorem says. All right. So, you are given some sample space omega and you are given an algebra on omega, not a sigma algebra, just an algebra on omega. All right. And you are trying to, so and what you are doing here is to define some kind of a pseudo measure on the algebra. Okay. This P naught is, see, this is not defined on the sigma algebra, right, it is defined on only the algebra f naught, right, and it has, and it is a mapping from f naught to 0 1, it has the property that P naught of omega is 1 and P naught is countably additive on f naught. Okay. If these two conditions are satisfied, then P naught can be uniquely extended to a probability measure on omega f. Right, what is f? F is this guy, sigma algebra generated by f naught. Okay, f naught is only an algebra and you are making it into a sigma algebra, so to speak, right. You are taking the smallest sigma algebra containing f naught. So, you can extend this pseudo measure P naught to a legitimate measure P on omega f such that this P agrees with your P naught on the algebra, correct. Is this clear? So, there is a few things I have to clarify here. So, this P naught is not a probability measure, that should be very clear to you. P naught is only is a pseudo measure defined only on f naught, which is an algebra. It satisfies P naught of omega is equal to 1, right, because you ultimately want the true probability measure P to satisfy P of omega equal to 1, right. And so, this is important, it should be countably additive on f naught. P naught, the pseudo measure that you have should be countably additive on f naught. Now, comes a problem. So, this f naught is what kind of an object? Algebra, right. Now, what is countably additive? Yeah, if I have the, so P naught of a countable union of disjoint sets must be equal to sum of the P naughts of those individual sets. Now, the problem is if you take P naught of, let us say you take P naught of countable union of disjoint sets, the countable union of those sets in f naught may not be in f naught. Why? It is only an algebra, f naught is only an algebra, it is not a sigma algebra. So, then what do we mean by countably additive on f naught? P naught may not even see, P naught is defined on elements of f naught, but if I take a countable union of sets in f naught, it may not even be in f naught. Then what am I talking about as countable additivity? So, this should be understood as, if it so happens that the countable union of sets in f naught is in f naught, it may not be, it may not always be, right, because f naught is only a algebra, not a sigma algebra. So, if it so happens that if you take a countable union of disjoint sets in f naught, if it so happens that the union is also an f naught, then you must have countable additivity. Okay, that is the sense in which this should be understood. Okay. So, if these two are satisfied, then I can uniquely identify a measure P, right, which agrees with P naught on my nice sets, on my algebra, right. But the thing about this P is it is defined for all elements of f, not just on f naught. Okay. There exists a unique extension, okay, not just there exists an extension, but there is a unique extension. Okay. Are there any questions on this statement? all right, will be okay. So, this is the theorem that helps us go from what we actually want. So, what have I done, right? So, I want a probability measure to satisfy this, and so essentially I know what I want for subsets in F naught, right. I know P naught of F should be this, right, but if I verify the conditions of Kara-Theodori, I can actually go to a legitimate measure on 0 1. Okay. So, the steps are as follows. So, clearly see F naught, the F naught defined here is already an algebra, right. So, going back to that, so we have F naught defined earlier is an algebra, and sigma of F naught is Borel, right, that much we already have. And now define P naught from F naught to 0 1 such that P naught of null is equal to 0. See, I have to define P naught for all elements of this F naught. F naught contains the empty sets and sets of this form. So, for empty set I define it to be 0 as I must, right, because I eventually want this P naught to become a measure, right, and P of F, where F is a set of that form, sorry, P naught of F set of that form should be simply I equals 1 through n B I minus A I, right. So, this F is, I am not repeating this, okay, this F is a set like that. Okay. So, I have defined this pseudo measure on the algebra F naught. Okay. Now, the only non trivial step which takes some work and I will not do here is that you can verify countable additivity of P naught on F naught. What do I mean? So, if you take a collection of sets of this form, so you take a countable collection of sets F I which are of this form and they are disjoint, let us say. If it so happens that the countable union of several such sets is also a set of this form. See, it may not be for one thing, right, because again as I showed an example of a set of this form where you take countable union, you end up with something that is not like this, right. Yesterday we proved that, right. So, it may so happen that if you take countable union of several such sets, it may not be a set of this form, but if it is a set of this form, you can in fact show that P naught is countably additive. Okay. Do you follow what I am saying? This is not very trivial again, right. This, if you are interested, this is not a very inspiring proof, but if you want to really look at the proof, you can look at David Williams, but this can be done, right. So, next, so non trivial step is to verify countable additivity of P naught on F naught. Okay. So, you do that, it actually it can be done, there is a proof. Then what do you have? You can apply Kara-Theodoris extension theorem, right. The conditions of the theorem are satisfied, right. Then so you that implies that this P naught can be uniquely extended to a legitimate probability measure on omega F, but what is your F now? Borel sigma algebra, right, which means, so what did I just say? So, there exists a unique probability measure on omega comma B which agrees with the notion of length for intervals, right, but it is a legitimate probability measure in the sense it is defined for all Borel sets. Is that clear? So, this Kara-Theodori implies by Kara-Theodori there exists a unique probability measure P on omega B which agrees with P naught on F naught. Okay. So, I have just indicated the program, right. I have not really proved all this, but I think for our purposes, since we are not professional mathematicians, I think we can afford to skip the proof of Carathéodore's theorem and all, right. So, we can just to understand how this Lebesgue measure is properly defined, the program for doing it is what is relevant to us. Okay. So, what the statement means in plain English is that for all Borel sets on 0 1, I can define a probability measure, a unique probability measure which corresponds to the notion of length. After all, what is P naught? P naught is length, right. Simply if you give it a interval like open A closed B, it gives you the length of it, right. So, it is a measure, a unique measure that agrees with the notion of length. Okay. But it is a legitimate measure in the sense that if you give it something, some complicated Borel set which is not necessarily just intervals, it will still produce a measure, it will produce an answer, right. You may not be able to a priori tell me what the length of something like the Cantor set is, because it's so broken up, right. Yesterday we discussed that, right. So, you keep removing these middle thirds, you end up with a scattering of points which is so bizarre that it contains no intervals at all, right, but it is a Borel set. You will prove in your homework that it is a Borel set, right. So, even if you give it a complicated Borel set, this P will produce an answer because it is defined on all Borel sets. Okay, but this P naught will not, the P naught does not operate on complicated sets like the Cantor set, it only operates on these kind of sets. Okay. Is this clear?
P naught is not a probability measure, sir.
P naught is not a probability measure because it is defined on an algebra, right. It is a pseudo, I said it is a pseudo measure because it is only defined on the algebra, but we want it to become a legitimate probability measure on the Borel sigma algebra.
So, countable additivity need not be disjoint.
Well, no, see, countable additivity means, see, countable additivity of probability measure means if you take a countable union of disjoint sets, you should have the sum of the measures on the right, right. So, the point I was making is P naught is not really a probability measure, but it should still satisfy countable additivity on the algebra. But of course, because F naught is only an algebra, countable union of disjoint sets may not even be in the algebra, right. So, this statement will be interpreted as if at all the countable union is in your algebra, if it so happens to be in your algebra, then it should have countable additivity.
For the sets which are in F and not in F naught, will the P still be uniform and translation?
Yes, that is the property of it.
Where does it come to it? We are imposing only translation invariant and uniform.
No, I have not, no. So, the translational invariant part, see the translation invariant part earlier what I said is that there is no translational invariant measure on omega 2 power omega, right. What I have said now is that I have a measure that uniquely satisfies, so it satisfies the notion of length on intervals, and it is a legitimate measure on the Borel sigma algebra, right. What you can prove now is that this P is in fact translationally invariant on the Borel sigma algebra, not on 2 power omega. Okay. P is only on Borel, right. You cannot do P on 2 power omega, right, because it is there is an impossibility theorem. So, now this P satisfies this notion of translationally invariant and corresponds to a notion of length on Borel sets. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so now the task is, so we know that there exists this measure, right. Now the question is, so but we only know the measure in explicit form for sets like that, right. If I give you a set open A closed B, you will tell me that the measure is B minus A, right. But if I give you some other set, you do not know what, you know that unique measure exists on Borel sigma algebra, but you do not know what it is. So what we will try and do now is give you measures of, compute measures of certain commonly encountered subsets. Okay. So definition, so let me actually not, let us forget this. This P is called, let me just write here, this P the Lebesgue measure on 0 1. So strictly I should say 0 1 comma B. Right. So this unique measure, Scalar theorem tells me that there is a unique measure on the Borel sigma algebra which corresponds to the notion of length. All right. This measure is called the Lebesgue measure. Okay. It is also see, because this interval is only, the length of this interval is 1, it is also a probability measure on 0 1. Why? Because P naught of omega itself is 1. So if it so happens that your interval is 0 2, right, then the length will be 2, right. So in that case you can similarly define a Lebesgue measure, but it will not be a probability measure. In order to make it a probability measure on 0 2, you have to scale things down by the length of the interval, right, length of your omega, right. So once you have defined a uniform probability measure on 0 1, you can do it for any interval a b, right. You can define a uniform probability measure on any interval a b of the real line. Okay. We will, so you can, it so turns out you can also do Borel sigma algebra and Lebesgue measure on the whole real line. Okay. That is something we will get to very soon, but before that I want to explore this Lebesgue measure on 0 1 a little bit more. Okay. So everybody okay with that? So that is just a terminology. This measure P, unique measure P, is called Lebesgue measure. Okay. So now so if we have singleton B, all right,